Mhm. You know, someone asked me why are you living in the UK? And the rest of my family are living back home in Kenya. I married a Russian oligarch who is being attacked by
Are we get
Americans.
we're on
By
point right now, aren't
Americans?
we?
No, just wait.
Did
Who is
she
being
just
attacked by
say
Americans?
Yes, her married
Who
a
that?
Russian
the
oligarch.
Americans?
Yes.
Well, Donovan, I'm sorry to jump in on behalf of reform will never rule the United Kingdom. Never.
Could you repeat that, please?
The reform, Nigel Farage will never, ever, and I can tell you this without a shadow of a doubt, they will never rule the UK. UK means England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. They will never rule the
Yeah, that
United
sounds
Kingdom.
very familiar to things people said in this country in
Never,
2015.
never, and that's a fact. You know the difference between the United States and the United States of America and the United Kingdom is in the UK. We know what we want. We do not have this small little extremists.
Yeah.
We don't have it. We do not have it here in the United Kingdom. We don't.
Wow.
It's
What
not
is the
have.
what
It's
is what
not.
is the guy?
It's.
Hey,
It's not.
Brendan,
It's not.
Brendan. Yeah, I
It's
know you're
not.
saying that. Hold on, Brendan. Who's that guy that's in prison right now?
Which guy? I don't even. I'm not even aware.
I didn't ask you.
Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, Tommy Robinson. What about Tommy Robinson and his followers?
He has 0.000% of support in the UK.
Really? Because
Is
they don't have they weren't doing
Absol-
like huge rallies and shit.
No.
No.
I like y'all.
I think you're getting the wrong news.
You know. Let me tell you something.
I'm just telling you what it looks like from the outside.
Okay,
You guys
okay.
have a whole bunch of
From
rights. You guys
okay.
have. You guys
Problem
wait.
with
Hold on.
news.
Stop. Don't. God, you were interrupting
okay,
everybody.
okay,
Hold on.
okay,
No. You guys are having a white supremacist problem in your country. That's what it seems like to me.
We had an election, yeah? Our county government elections in May. We're in June, last month, right? And there is zero, absolutely minute election to the so-called reformist because nobody believes in their absolute bullshit. In the United Kingdom, people are educated. We know who we are. We really do. We don't even believe in this extreme belief, extreme hate towards human beings, extreme beliefs towards people. That is why we are.
Well, there's a portion of you that do.
Sorry, there's always a portion in every
That's
country.
why we are the United Kingdom. We do not believe. That is why Britain is so different. That is why you have Americans coming here.
That is a fact.
As
We are
tourists.
very different.
That is why people come
Do you
here.
guys
That is
still
why
get arrested for
Americans-
social media
That's why
posts?
Americans here
No.
come here
Oh, you don't?
as
You
a
can't,
tourist.
you can't get arrested for a social media post?
That
in,
is
I've
why.
never heard of
That
an
is why
Irish
we
person
don't
being
believe.
arrested
We
for
don't
social
look
media.
at people based on their color of their skin. We don't. We do not. I am born and bred in Kenya, but I came to Britain as a 19-year-old girl. So guys, stop it. That's not the Britain that we believe.
So you're enjoying the systems and processes that Great Britain has adopted.
What do you mean the system?
Wow, come on.
My great grandparents, the Britain came to my country in Kenya, and my great grandparents were so stupid enough to believe in them, yeah, and became part of the system. I come from one of the most prominent families in Africa. So don't even say that.
Wait, are you the one that sends me those emails? Are you the one that sends me those emails?
Don't
rude.
even say that. Don't even say that. Anyway,
That's so rude.
I had actually I had a
I know.
I had a
I'm-
completely
you know, honestly,
so
well,
rude.
hold on.
I had a
Hold on.
completely
Hold on.
One
Hold on.
second, ladies.
Hold on. I am a liberal. I tend to get my hackles up when somebody comes in and starts attacking the United States of America, though.
Nobody
From
should
the
be
outside.
attacking any country.
Well, hold on. I get
Absolutely
my hackles up.
yes.
You make me want to dislike you just by attacking my country for some
Don't,
reason,
don't,
thinking
no,
that you know more about my country than I do.
No, don't, no. That's not true. No.
One thing, though, just to finish what I was trying to say a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Lane, before you want to talk about, like, the United States being this beacon of freedom, like, please look up the Coca-Cola Unalive squads. Look up the Sandinistas and Contras. Look up Salvador Allende's Chile and what the United States did to all of these countries.
Understandable. But
It,
He's smart.
okay, keep going.
No, for real. He knows what he's talking about.
look at Operation Gladio post World War II of the United States funding former Nazi cells to overthrow communist and socialist regimes in the Balkans. Look up, like going all the way back, like post 100 years ago of manufacturing consent for war. Look at the false flag operation for the USS Maine that started the Mexican-American War.
Can I ask, what's the point you're actually trying to get to?
He's trying to tell you about America being a beacon of hope. It really ain't a
No,
beacon
sorry.
of hope.
Did I say? Sorry. Maybe I've misconstrued my point. Is that was certainly how America was portrayed to us growing up.
Yeah,
As-
I get what you're saying.
But that's not saying is America got it right. But no country got it right. So where do we go from here?
Where I want to go from here is completely reform the United States economic and government system. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Our next step is
Go ahead, Mojo, my bad.
Our next step here in the United States is to take back the Congress, take back the House at
But
least,
the Ameri-
so that we can stop some of the crap that's going on right now. That's our next step. So we can try and
But
get
the
to some
America-
sort of
but the-
balanced government.
But the
But we
American,
love our country. Don't think we love our country now.
very true. But the America we have today is not the America that Pala is talking about. It's not the same America that
I
all
don't
of
know
us.
I don't know what you're talking.
No, what I'm
People
saying
go
is
through
it is the same
bad
America. They're just
I think what she's trying to say is the exact
It's
same as what I'm
not.
trying to say.
The
Is
America we are talking about today is not the same.
Have
You
you
know,
ever been to
America
America?
that-
Have you ever been to America?
Yes, I have. I have
Where
family.
did you-
Actually, I have family living in America. I have.
Yeah, where?
Say that again.
Where?
My
Where? What state?
my auntie is the consular general of Kenya in Los Angeles. My
So an
uncle.
ambassador. An ambassador.
Yes.
Okay. So
what
yeah,
I'm-
not really America, not really experiencing America.
No. Wait. Just wait. This is not a negative on America. What I'm saying is the America that we have today is not the friendly American that we had like a few years ago.
the point that I'm making is that it's never been friendly. We're just loud about it now. And that's bad.
Oh, well, I disagree because the
Yeah.
friendly
Yeah,
America, the perception of the friendly America a couple of years ago was it was easy to travel to, you could come and go, as provided you obeyed the rules of the country.
I'm talking about tourism. I'm talking about the economic and military imperialism of the United States of America. That's
Yeah,
what
but
I'm talking about.
the perception as a tourist a couple of years ago as opposed to the perception as a tourist right now is very different.
Well, let me add in a point because first of all, I really appreciate Pallet Jack. I like the points that you add. I like the perspective that you're coming from, and I completely agree. And I think that we can even take it back. Let's just look at something much farther back than even potentially 100 years that Pallet Jack.
Manifest Destiny.
Right. Well, let's just even look at let's look at
That was
something like
Great
the
Britain.
Statue of
You can
Liberty.
blame that on England, by the way.
The
Manifest
Statue of
Destiny.
Liberty, when the French gifted it to the United States of America, the artist wanted to have the chains in the hands of Lady Liberty to signify that it was being given because America broke free of slavery. It was supposed to be a symbol about America breaking those chains away from slavery. And the Freemasons and the other people in the government that control things said, no, we will not do that. We will not allow that. So even going back to then and prior, I mean, America has not been this beacon of hope, but that's what's been pushed upon the world. Well, we are a beacon of hope.
I'm getting a little angry.
About what?
Why are
Talking
you
I'll
getting
say
about
angry?
my
about
country.
Rah, it's my country too, and I want it to be the best. I want the United States so badly to be what we were told it was when we were growing up. But you and I can both agree that it's not, and it never has been.
Yes.
But we can make it that way. We have the capability to do it, but we just aren't there yet.
That screen is loading.
I mean,
A part of it too is the fact that there's not more class consciousness in the United States to have us understand some of the main problems are a lot of these billionaires who control a lot of the country. And what they actually have is this agenda and it's been the doctrine for forever. This is how a dictator operates. Divide and conquer, right? That's the tyranny that a dictator operates under, right? And so that's what it's been. It's been push the culture war, push culture war, culture war, culture war. The United States of America runs on race and money. And so
We are all members of the proletariat, and nothing in the United States will change until the proletariat takes power.
that's right.
no, I was mainly speaking to the fact that I think that we all, I don't know how to say this. We're going to stick together though. At the end of the day, I think we can get it back good. I mean, well, we can make it better, I guess.
We just have to do it. We just have to come together as a proletariat class and realize that the bourgeoisie has their boot on our throat. And until we stand up and tell the bourgeois to fuck off, that we as the working class are the blood, muscles, and nervous system of this country, nothing's going to change.
True. Amen.
I don't know that the proletariat is going to be an answer to being a beacon of hope or helping out the rest of the world in any way, shape, or form, at least not in the short term. Maybe in the long term that's possible, but it probably gets worse in the short term as we restructure in some way, shape, or form. So I don't necessarily think that's going to help out the rest of the world. I don't think it's necessarily going to help out the United States and our place in the world. I don't think it's a bad thing to do, though.
Major, looking as an outsider looking outside into the American system, I'm an outsider. I'm looking from outside. I think the America that we all believed in, the America that led the world, the America that was economically powerful, the America was socially powerful, the America that was really standing out to the world. Today, as I'm talking to you right now, that is not the America that we see.
Awesome.
It was a lie.
It's not.
Yeah. Do you support Keir Starmer signaling that a draft to fight in Ukraine is a good idea? And if yes, do you have sons?
No. Okay, maybe let me tell you my political idea. I come from political family back home in Africa, and also when I came to the UK, I'm a Labour born and bred. That means that I'm a supporter of Keir Starmer's idea. No, I do not support the Ukraine war at all. In fact, what I think is the Ukrainian war should have never happened. One, because Ukraine and Russia are like cousins. How do you fight your own brothers and sisters?
Have you heard of Putin?
It is a war that has been peddled by egotistical governments that want people to fight Russia and Ukraine. I don't believe in it. I do not believe in what Keir Starmer believes, that Ukraine should have whatever it is. No, I don't believe in it. I don't believe that lives should be lost in a necessary war in the Ukraine. I don't.
Curry, I have a question.
Sorry,
I have
are
a
you
question.
trying to say
Wait. Curry, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How do you feel about? I just want to know how you feel about poor people.
Oh gosh, what is it that again?
I just want to know how you feel about poor people.
What do you mean, poor
The
people?
less fortunate.
Personally,
Yeah.
personally, I think that people should lift themselves out of poverty.
Alex, she is the bourgeoisie. You realize that, right?
Yes.
I believe that people should lift themselves out of poverty,
Do
and
you have to lift
they
yourself out of
should.
poverty?
So, do you believe you're from Africa? What part of Africa?
I'm born and bred in Kenya, but I've lived
Kenyan has the
most of my
ability
life.
to
I've
build
lived
themselves out of
I've
poverty.
lived most of my life in Britain.
Yeah, so you had most of your life in Britain. So do you believe every Kenyan has the ability to bring themselves out of poverty?
Well, bootstrapping.
I'll pass. I
So
think,
you're wrong.
but
Sorry, I didn't grow up in that society where I thought every single person is able to bring themselves out of poverty. And I don't believe every single person in this world can do that for themselves, because every person is not born with the same abilities.
But our government in Kenya has given the opportunity for people to get themselves out of poverty.
So you're telling me those with the highest abilities and those with the who are maybe disabled have the same ability to bring themselves out of poverty?
No.
Because that's exactly what you just said.
No. I'm not saying a disabled
That is
person.
exactly what you just said.
No.
There is a euphemism in the United States that is used by the right, and it's called pulling yourself up by your
There
bootstraps.
is that to a degree.
And it's what it means is pulling yourself out of poverty, and this is used by the right.
But our governments
And
have to create.
the
Our
idea
government
itself.
has to create opportunities for people to come out of poverty.
But
We
you did
we-
say that you're from a prominent family, so it sounds like you had an easy go of it compared to a lot of people that struggle.
I'm sorry I was born in the family I was born in, but I'm saying we need to create systems and governments and policies where people can bring themselves out of poverty and also out of low-income families. That's what
Why-
I'm trying to say.
This is crazy.
Why would you set up a system where, as you say, people pull themselves out of poverty. When
But
you can set up when you can set up a society with a base level of living that a society as a whole can pull itself out of poverty.
my father was one of the people who fought for minimum wage in Kenya. He is one of the people who created a space where people can earn more than minimum wage. It was unheard of something in Kenya. So I'm trying to say we need to create spaces. As young people, we need to come up with ideas to
Can I
create.
ask why, if your father and your family were fighting for minimum wage in Kenya, why are you living in the UK? What has happened there?
I think it's an exact question where you asked why you are going to live in Maldives.
No, sorry,
20
because I don't
million.
live in the Maldives.
20
But I'm
million
just asking,
Kenyans.
is there a reason? Is there a political reason or what?
No.
Okay. 20 million Kenyans live at poverty level. Yeah, 20 million in Kenya.
I'm just asking out of curiosity, purely because you brought up your background so much. I was just wondering, because, and no disrespect, by the way, you're obviously welcome to live where you want to live. But I'm like, so you're talking about the Kenyan population, and I was just wondering why, when you're talking about them and pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, if your family were fighting for the livable wage for all Kenyans, what's happened there?
I have my brothers and my sisters who are living back home, but I also have a choice where I want to live. So
were your family, well, if that was the case, so were your family able to pull themselves up by those bootstraps that you're referring to?
Okay, I'm not going to comment because I don't want to.
No, you're okay. I feel like you're being. No, don't. You're fine.
I'm not going to give so much information.
No, you're
I understand that. I don't want to, by the way, I'm not trying to
Right. Yeah, you should focus on me for a second. I'm sorry. That's a very laudable position you have with regards to not wanting to go to war in Ukraine. I think while Keir Starmer probably should invest a little bit more given the circumstances that we have, getting embroiled in foreign wars is generally not a good idea. Take it from us. Not a good idea.
I have a real hard time. I have a real hard time though accepting. I have a real hard time. I have a real hard time. I have a real hard time. I have stop. I have a real hard time accepting the notion. Stop talking.
Okay.
I have a real hard time accepting the answer that we need to worry about Ukraine and Russia because how can cousins be fighting one another? I have a big problem with that statement. They're not cousins. This is a country that was taken over and controlled by a nation and then set free and now is trying to be taken over again. They're not cousins.
No, they ain't cousins.
Okay. Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone asked me why are you living in the UK. The rest of my family are living back home in Kenya. I married a Russian oligarch who is being attacked by Americans.
We're on
by Americans.
Right now,
no, just wait. Who is being attacked by Americans?
Yes, married a Russian oligarch.
American
Yes.
government.
Oligarch?
Who the American government have done every single thing to make our life so difficult. That is why I came here to have this conversation. But anyway, let me
Ma'am.
I think my brain just fucking short-circuited. I'm smelling toast.
How did we, how did America try to destroy What? What happened here?
This is
What
Hey,
did
you
we
got to the
do?
party bit late on that one.
So one thing I do want to say, nobody, because when I left,
Yeah. Bye, ma'am. Oh.
so now it makes sense.
Fucking Das
that was crazy.
Vidania.
That was
Fucking
so
Das
crazy.
Vidania.
What the fuck? I think we were just punked. I swear to God, we were just on the show punked. I swear to God.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, that was hilarious.
No, I think it was really funny because
think that was
essentially, no, it was, but it's funny because it's essentially saying like, I don't like how Russians that are struggling and like dying of unaliving, and also how they struggle with travel because there have been travel restrictions. What do you think an oligarch and his girlfriend are struggling with? Travel.
Yeah. She
I
was
don't
trying
like
to
how Russians are struggling with travel, so America should stop funding and like getting in the way, or like the EU.
My favorite comment was the pull yourself up by the bootstraps when she
I thought that
comes
was
from an
fucking
entitled
hilarious.
family. He's like, she literally said, I heard her say it when she came up.
She's
from
the daughter of a fucking ambassador.
Mojo nailed it. He said,
Yeah.
"How do you feel about poor people?" She was like, she short circuited. She was like, "What? What's that?" I'm
What's
like,
that?
"The
I thought it was
poors."
particularly hilarious when she said that Kenyans need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. And I'm like, and so how do the Kenyans pull themselves up by the bootstraps? And she could have no answer to that.
Wait, her
Just go
family set
marry
up
a Russian
minimum wage.
oligarch.
Wait, her family set up the minimum wage, though, right?
Apparently,
Yeah. And she called him
I don't think that's what
That
she
was
said.
That was
she
a let them
jokingly
eat
said
cake.
that.
That was a
I
let them
think
eat cake thing right there. That's exactly what that fucking was.
It sure
Like,
was.
My God, I'm crying right now. That was so fucking fun.
do most
I
people
think
call their boyfriends oligarchs? What?
no, she wasn't lying about that.
But why she call him that? Like, what the?
Bad.
She call him like a businessman instead of calling him like an actual
Yeah.
oligarch.
She
Works
called
in
him an
media or
oligarch
some
at the
shit?
end.
He works for a military contractor. Oh my God, that was through the looking glass. That was so bizarre.
Did
She
you
had a fucking
not see this coming, honestly? Because I asked
Dude,
her, I was like,
I'll
so
tell you what.
how are
I'm
you
sitting here. I'm sitting
sitting
back here.
there in the UK?
I'm sitting back and I'm all pissed off because they're attacking America, and I start thinking about what's being said, and I think, wait, I missed some things here. Her fucking family is rich as hell, and she's got an ambassador in the United States, and she's here talking about how America's the beacon of hope, and I'm like, okay, there's something missing here. I have to ask her.
Look, I'm
how she
sorry, I
feels
do
about poor
agree
people.
with the beacon of hope and thing, because America was very much built up, certainly in the 80s and 90s, as the beacon of hope.
That's what Reagan said. Yes, Reagan called
Yes,
us a
and it
beacon
very
on, a
much
shining
was built
beacon
up
on the
like
hill.
that.
Yes,
Right,
but it was bullshit.
very
Then.
much was. And maybe Americans might feel that way, and I get that, and I can understand that. But it has been seen to the externals as very much as a place of, the land of prosperity. You work hard and you can get somewhere, and that was whether you agree or disagree, it was a lovely ideology.
we're all oligarchs on this panel.
Huh?
We're
And by the way, I'm not married to an oligarch.
What the fuck?
How did she say the word? I had to stop for a second. What was the word?
I don't
Oligarch.
remember,
She said oligarch.
I thought,
but-
I stopped for a second too. I thought I was having a stroke.
I did
And
too.
like I had to sit and think for a second, and I was like, "Did she just say she was married to a fucking oligarch?"
it's gonna be so pissed she missed that. That was fuck. I hope
And Russia and the Ukraine are like cousins. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Do you know who Putin is? Like
That's
that?
what's
yeah,
Wasn't
that
me
got
there.
me. Yeah, that
That's-
totally got me too. The whole cousins thing. What the fuck?
But that's
You
what
was
you get when
basically
you have
saying-
someone that's out of touch, right? Like most of the time, like I don't blame her for growing up in a rich family, but when she tries to relate to poor people by saying pull yourself up by the bootstraps, yet she's never experienced anything like that, that's when I take take arms against us.
He was just trying to get mad at us about Russia.
No, that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Then she pivoted. Then
That's
she
exactly
pivoted
what it
to
was.
that, and
What
that's what
the
I'm saying.
hell?
She's out of touch with that too. She's like looking at two countries, saying, "Oh, they're brothers and cousins." Like, what are you talking about?
Like, love Russia. It's like my boyfriend and make you go on trips. What the fuck?
I mean, has she not been paying attention to what Putin does? He goes in and basically decimates an area and then leaves and comes back and does it again until he, well, at this point now he's trying to take over the entire entirety of Ukraine. So
I guess obviously not. I would
That's what
assume she
allows
runs
me
in
that.
like more conservative, probably privileged circles, but also gets input because that's a very like Russian thing to say. To be honest, I've heard that from many Russians, even here, of like, oh, but we're kind of the same people. We're kind of
Yeah, I was about to
brothers,
say-
whatever. Like they say that.
Sorry,
I served.
guys.
I was about to say I served with a guy that was born in Russia, left when he was about 15, and he married a Ukrainian woman, and they live in the United States now. He's in the military, but no, me and him were talking about it like when it first popped off in like 2022, and he was kind of making that argument as well, where he was like, "Well, the like Ukraine and the Russian Federation have always been like kind of like sister nations and this, that, and the other," and he was like, "They're like, yeah, I've heard that argument too."
Yeah, I've heard it from like non-Russians as well, though, just other people from the Soviet Union. But it's for some reason specifically like Kazakh people, because like Georgians and Armenians share much more of the sentiment of like, oh, we understand you're different. We also didn't like being oppressed by Russia. But I've heard some people from Kazakhstan, but it's a really just a product of the Soviet education. But still, they go like, "Oh, you guys are kind of the same.
They're a
You boys have-
vassal,
you
a
know,
vassal state.
You guys
Is the
have
best way to
borscht."
look at it.
Vassal? Is that
Yeah,
the
of that.
toilet paper word of the day? Or
Well, no, it's just what they're referred to as.
can you explain
a
it?
vassal
Can you explain what that word means?
Yeah, vassal would be like a worker, like one or two ticks higher than a slave. They're bound to their master, which is the higher caste, I guess you'd say, right? So Russia's the higher caste, and they have all these satellite states that are.
Yeah, I was about to say I think a better term for that would be like satellite states, like Belarus. I mean, I wouldn't even really consider Ukraine like a Soviet satellite, but
the other former Soviet blocs too.
Georgia, Armenia,
Yugoslavia, yeah, those are all vassal states.
I'm glad I got that recorded.
I am so posting this tomorrow, by the way.
I recorded it too. I said I gotta record this.
So posting that. That's crazy. That was crazy.
she said it so casually too.
She did. She
A
did.
Russian oligarch.
It was normal. It's
yeah,
like,
and she took a breath first, where she was just like, "Well, so I'm married to a Russian oligarch."
Yeah, like
Just kind of like matter of factly, where it's just like, "Oh yeah, that's a reasonable thing that happens to a lot of people."
I gotta be honest, guys. I felt for a moment like as if I was going in at her, but I was trying to ask her like where was her ideology coming from. I was like, this is not normal.
Yeah,
She just-
I think you asked good questions. Why is she in the UK? Why?
But I felt
what
bad
about her
for asking
family?
that question because I'm like, I wasn't trying to say like obviously I'm a European, so like we have freedom of movement here, you know?
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you were prying to get to the point where it's like, she had the choice to go there, but basically,
But I was curious. I was just genuinely, I was just being curious.
yeah. I don't think there was anything malicious behind it.
Oh, there certainly wasn't anything. Certainly wasn't trying to be rude
Yeah,
in any way.
Oh, I was malicious.
I don't. There won't be any malicious intent on my part, but like it was definitely very strange to hear that comment coming out. It was like that. I certainly wasn't expecting it in any way. Shape,
I mean,
or form.
if,
It's like,
yeah, she
that's
could have said like we could pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. I would have took that a little bit, but Kenya pull.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I just felt like, but I felt like I feel like the same about most countries. Like pull yourself up by the bootstraps is great in theory, but you have to have facilities to do that. And as somebody here from this country who did not come from a wealthy background in any way, shape, or form, but thanks to the EU, who've been phenomenal for our country, I have been able to, access higher education and access better jobs as a result. Like, and yes, you can pull yourself up by the bootstraps, but if the facilities are available.
She ain't pulled herself up by shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that was fun.
Anyway, I have to say, guys, it's been lovely talking to you all.
You too.
I feel like as if I've been the only EU person on the panel tonight.
Thanks.
It's okay.
Thanks for being here, and thanks for putting up with my shit.
Oh, Jesus. No, you didn't. You certainly didn't ask any questions I wasn't expecting. And you're welcome to ask any more.
Yeah, no, I think you're all right. I think you, no.
Anyway.
Go
ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm good.
Come back anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good
Bye.
evening.
Bye.
I was just going to say, does anybody miss when the biggest scandal was the color of the president's suit?
I so miss that. Wouldn't that be so cool to be arguing about that again?
I know. Oh, God. I don't even know how we got to this point where there's so many scandals going on that people just like treat it like it's nothing. I don't get it. It's like, because you got to keep up with so many scandals. It's like, wait, what did he do this time? We're on like the 600th scandal. Maybe that's why we become desensitized to anything he does.
He's back. The oligarch girlfriend is back.
You know what I mean?
I mean, just imagine if like Bill Clinton were to have said that in Columbus, Ohio, cats and dogs were being eaten.
Yeah. You guys want to talk to her again?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything. I can't.
Oh wait, she's not even in the request box.
Oh. Request up, Curie.
Look, this is one of those things where.
No, but I want to hear Brobot's opinion.
Oh. New
I'll drop for her. But just so you know, she said no less than 3 times that poor people should eat cake, that poor people should stop being poor, and she told you all 3 times that she was incredibly wealthy.
Brobot, you will not
in case
drop.
you missed all that.
Yeah, you will not drop. Mojo, drop me. It's 1 o'clock here anyway. And besides, I want to listen to Brobot. That was good shit, Mojo. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Have a good evening.
I mean, I was losing my shit down there when she started talking, but yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Madame Curie.
Hey, I've been listening, and I'm actually quite sorry that you all think that I'm this snobby person. What I think is, and I really believe in this. I believe that when you grow up in an fortunate family, you need to bring yourself out of that space, and that's what I believe in. And that's what I believe in. You need to bring yourself out of the space. Again, what I'm going to say when it comes to Russia and the American war in Ukraine, I think the Americans need to back off, because Ukraine and Russia have they are brothers and sisters. These are cousins. Why are you getting
Are you a
involved?
comedian? Are you being serious right now?
Why are you getting involved in their war?
Do you think they
as
can
America,
resolve it
no. When you were talking, I was quiet. Why is America getting involved in a war that does not even have anything to do with them? The war is in Europe. Why are they
Oh,
being?
Ma'am, ma'am.
Why is
why is
America
Russia
being?
getting involved? Ukraine's in Europe.
Because it's part of their territory.
No,
Oh
no,
my
How
ma'am.
is it part
God.
of their territory?
oh
Do you know? Do you know how far America is from Ukraine? Do you know how far it is?
So what? So
So,
what?
I
okay.
mean,
So,
American troops have
what
marched
is
through that whole area before.
okay? So, what is their geological political interest?
Okay,
What is the
so
interest?
the
What
interest is this,
no.
right?
Okay,
what
what is
is
the
Russia's
American?
interest?
So
What is the
Russia.
American interest?
Hold on.
Okay,
Okay, if you're
the
gonna
Russian
keep asking
interest,
questions, Curie,
the American interest.
You have to stop. You keep asking questions, and you don't want to let anybody answer. If you're gonna ask questions, you got to let people answer.
Curie, do you know what Russia's doing to the Ukrainian people? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I invited her to unmute. I just had to stop that because she keeps asking the same question over and over again, and that doesn't work.
Tell me what the Ukraine and Russia are doing to each other. Tell me.
No, ma'am, they're being attacked by Russia.
Say that again in proper English.
What?
The proper English?
Ma'am, hold up now.
She is so fake.
Curie,
She's so fucking fake. This whole thing
what
is
do you
fake.
think is happening there?
This is crazy.
About to get an American cuss out.
No, genuinely, tell me.
What do you think is happening there?
What?
I'm asking, like, I'm genuinely asking you.
Okay. Let me tell you this in a very, very polite way.
Speak proper English.
Yes. Yes. Your government
She's
has
playing a role.
nothing.
This isn't even real.
No. Wait. Your government has nothing to do with the relationship between Ukraine and Russia. Nothing.
Ma'am, look, we're not
And your
Ukraine for
country has
Russia.
nothing to do
They
with the
have
relationship between
nothing.
America and Ukraine.
They have nothing. And one day you will think about this and tell your children about it. They have nothing to do with it.
Ma'am,
Yeah, we're giving Ukraine another 1776.
The United States government has nothing to do with the
you don't need to tell us what we have to do with
So, yes,
They don't. They do not.
No, you don't get to talk. You don't get to tell us what we do with anything.
The only thing the United States has to do with the Ukraine government is to sell the weapons and to continue the war.
Ooh.
Ma'am,
that's the only.
What do you
Yes,
think?
that's the only
It's actually pretty
and
funny.
guess what? Russia will win. No matter
I'm
what.
going to guess you mean Russia selling the weapons to Iran and the
Russia
52
will
flavors
win.
of
That is
hummus?
America only has one. America only has one policy: selling weapons to destroy
That's Russia's policy.
countries. Yes,
That's Russia's policy.
America only has one policy.
Russia has one policy:
Stop,
selling their weapons across the world.
Stop for 1 sec. She's fake.
Yeah,
Because you're completely fake. Because you said that your one of your family members was an ambassador to the United States of America from Kenya. There hasn't been and she's a female.
Yes,
there hasn't been a female.
Yes.
There hasn't. There has never been a female fucking ambassador from Kenya.
Only one policy. I don't care what you say. Only one policy to sell.
I'm just telling you that you're lying. Why are you lying?
What? To sell your weapons to the
Well, we're
government of
not Russia.
Ukraine.
We're
Why
not
is he
selling
what?
weapons like
I
Russia
don't
does.
care. One thing, guess what?
That's the problem. You don't care that Russia sells weapons across the world.
No. Really? Just because
Yeah,
America is
really.
not doing it?
What's the number one weapon across the world?
Only
AK-47.
who is the biggest seller of weapons across the world?
Russia.
Oh,
Number one weapon
really?
used across the world is the AK-47.
Guess what? They're not selling it. People are
Selling it
no.
worldwide.
Guess what?
And that's just small arms.
Because
Shall we start getting into the MiGs?
So
no.
wait,
Guess
so
Shall we
what?
start
Robot,
getting into the
Guess
are you
what?
saying that
T-70s?
Lockheed Martin and Boeing and BAE Systems don't sell weapons across the world? You
Guess
telling you
No, we do, but we
Hold
don't hold the candle to what Russia
guess,
sells.
guess what? Guess what? Because the people of Ukraine are no longer.
BAE's British hip hop, by the way.
So
Yep.
I am
is no one
completely
gonna?
all
astonished
Western Empire.
that
I
a
think
Kenyan woman is up here
What did you say?
simping for Russia.
Guess what?
Ma'am, are you what are you talking about?
Because nobody is no longer buying the BS from America. Because you have a bullshit government.
Girl, get your
Okay,
ass out of
nobody's
here.
buying our stuff, so why are
She
you
has
complaining
valid
about
points.
Ukraine?
She has valid points.
Because you have a bullshit government.
I thought we were the
With,
peace
Oh,
of
is it
hope.
is
with
it
a
because our 40
madman.
and 50-year-old munitions are taking down everything that
You have
Russia's
a
got?
bullshit government with a
Beacon of hope.
madman.
Our
With
bullshit
a
Beacon of
government's
hope.
taking
madman as
everything
your
out of the air that
president.
Russia throws at Ukraine.
So to answer your first
With a
question,
madman as your president.
Beacon of hope.
She's
You call Trump
super
a
mad.
madman?
With a
She's super
madman
mad
as
that
your
Russia's losing.
president. Nobody believes in you anymore.
Putin is not a
Nobody's
madman?
believed in Russia since they started the invasion.
Putin's not a
Guess,
madman?
guess what? President Putin will win at all times. That's it.
This is so fake. All of this is
And
so
guess what?
fake.
You are laughing and your president admires him.
This is
You're
funny.
laughing. Your president, your madman
It was
president
weird to start
admires
out
him.
with. Now it's even more weird, and now it's just
Guess
getting kind
what?
of funny.
I
Your
mean, it is
president
weird.
Guess what? You're
admires.
failing.
Your president
If the
admires him. You're
You're going
laughing.
to make me take up for
if
Trump,
the
ma'am.
I
And I
mean,
don't
if the
mean that.
You're
U.S.
laughing when your president
if the
admires
go
U.S.
President
ahead, Pat.
Putin.
our president.
if the U.S. were to back out and completely and let Ukraine capitulate, and all the
There will
sanctions
be
from
peace.
Russia
There will be
Russia
peace.
were lifted, how much of your husband's capital would be freed up?
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Forget it. Forget it.
I
You
mean,
sound
I'm pretty
silly.
sure that Europe's already seized all the capital.
So, were you saying that Ukraine was just part of Russia, or it is Russia?
No. Ukraine is not part of Russia at all.
Or you're saying he
At
wants to
all.
take the land back.
No, the American government is trying.
Not the American. I'm saying about Russia. America out of it. Like forget. I'm not talking about America.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you cannot talk about Ukraine without talking about America.
You think America has
I mean,
interest?
there aren't American troops in Ukraine,
No,
but there
I'm-
sure are
European
Russian
Union.
troops in
Okay, well,
Ukraine.
Broba, can you stop?
Y'all
I'm
getting y'all
trying to
ass
understand
beat by
what she's
Ukraine.
like.
Y'all, you getting
I'm
your
trying to
ass
understand
beat
what she
by
believes.
Ukraine.
All right,
Let
hold on.
Kamsa speak, please.
All right.
I'm just.
let
I'm
Kamsa.
interested to. I don't like.
Nah, she's pissing me off.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't get to talk to Russia supporters very often. I'm kind of curious. My immediate reaction isn't necessarily anger always. I'm usually.
Go ahead.
I'm just very curious.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Curie, so what? Okay, so I'm sorry. Curie, what do you think? Do you think America is dictating how it's going? And if America stops helping, the war will stop? Or
No. What the American government is selling, actually not even selling, selling the weapons to Ukraine. It's a fact. I'm
Yeah.
not just the one saying it. They're selling the weapons to Ukraine.
Right. No, I mean,
Just like
And
how
in fact,
Americans
your
sold weapons
government,
to the Nazis. Just like
the,
how
the, US,
Americans
the
You
US
sold
need to
weapons to
government,
the
Oh,
stop.
you're
Nazis.
not
the
completely
US,
wrong, but so what
the
then?
US
What does that,
government
how does that affect
the
the war?
US government is benefiting from the war between Ukraine and Russia. But guess
So,
what?
but
Guess what? No matter how powerful you think your weapons are, Russia is winning.
Man,
so
we will knock Russia off
That's
the
a funny
map.
part of it.
how about the EU?
We'll knock you off the
That's
map.
a funny part
Is
of it.
is the EU funding Ukraine the
Eh,
same issue, or is it okay because it's in Europe?
Guess what is EU? The European. That is
Yeah.
why Britain left European Union, because EU is just a US bulldog.
So now you don't like the
So it's
EU.
bad that they're helping as well.
You don't
so
like
wait, we're
America.
benefiting off of this
US
after spending 300 billion in Ukraine,
is a
which was
US,
essentially giving
EU
300
spends
billion
even
to a third
more.
world
Yeah.
country that has
and
now
guess
destroyed more than 70% of Russia's conventional military forces. I mean, this is a hell of a deal. Russia was
It was giving
never a
300.
dragon. It was always a piece of paper.
you
The
know what
300
And it's
billion
our
you're
40
talking
and 50
about
year
went
old
to
You guys are
equipment
not going to
you
change
that
your
you
we're
know
mind.
what
actually
I
giving
know.
you
them like
You know that.
Aegis weapons.
you
Mojo,
know what
mute
you
hip
know
hop.
what you know what your families have never been affected. You have never had
Walls.
to. No, wait. Your families have never been affected. You
You
By
have
mean our
what?
never
families weren't
had.
affected
You have
when
never.
Russia parked
No.
missiles off of Cuba?
Wait. You have
By
never
what?
had to get your own hard-earned property taken away from you based on this very stupid war.
You would be
We're not
surprised.
taking
But
anything. It's
Yeah,
Russia that's
yeah.
taking
What
property.
property has been taken from
you're
you?
you're
What
It
property
has.
has been
It
taken
has.
from you?
you're
We're not
advocating.
Russian.
You're
Yeah.
What
We're
property?
disposing in assets. What's he talking about?
When your yacht is being brought with this UK and the US government, I am angry. I am so angry. You have no idea.
Well, ma'am,
Did you say
I'm gonna tell you.
What?
your yacht's been seized?
Yeah.
Your yacht's been seized?
Oh
Ma'am,
my
Yes.
god.
You have no idea. You have
Fury,
no
let
idea.
me ask you a
In fact,
Did you
question.
say
I don't
yacht?
even know.
Why are
You
you
know
not
what?
mad?
I am.
Why are
You
you
know
not mad with Putin? Why are you not mad with
All right.
Putin, ma'am?
what
Did
has
you
he
really say
done?
yacht?
So what has he done?
He's attacked Ukraine for how long now?
No. Tell me why I should be angry with President Putin. What has he done?
Attacked
Well,
He's
even
Ukraine.
broken
honestly,
so
even if
many
you like
treaties.
Russia,
His goal is to go in and decimate areas and then leave and come back. His goal is to take over
You know what?
parts of Europe.
My family
Mojo, I'm with you. I
will be
don't think this is
ashamed.
real. There's no way
I
this
don't.
is real.
My family will be
No.
ashamed for
It
me
can't
it is
having this
real.
Yeah, boy.
conversation.
Like he's
No.
I think
literally
he's
said
100%.
publicly that he wants to put back together the USSR. He wants to put it back together.
Your boyfriend ain't getting his money. Leave him, go
So
find
how
somebody
Guys,
else.
if
much
he agrees with him, that's
how
not a
much
bad
of
thing.
your money or
I'm
net worth
shaking.
have you lost in this?
Yeah, like your oligarch boyfriend.
I don't have a boyfriend. I'm married. My husband.
Well, your oligarch
The
husband.
father of my 2 children. So get it right.
Yeah, get it right.
Well,
I
how
don't give
much
a
less are
damn.
your children going to inherit after this?
I have very beautiful interracial children. So shut the fuck up.
And I have a very
I've
beautiful
never said
interracial
anything
daughter.
about their ethnicity, but okay.
I have a very beautiful interracial daughter.
Hey, Rara.
So are we
You know
denying
what?
So
that
we've
You
asked
NATO
that
have no
question like
idea.
10
bases
Yeah,
times.
you
completely
have
on
interracial
Russia?
children. You have interracial children that have never lost billions of euros and pounds. So you know
Ooh,
what? Shut
billions.
the fuck up. Let me get
It is
us.
the
And don't
oligarch.
tell me to
Hold
shut
on,
the
wait,
F
wait, wait,
up.
wait.
I don't even want to talk to you guys.
I will
You know
sure I
Shut the
will
how
fuck
shut
up.
your ass
Shut the
out all
fuck
the way
up.
to Kenya.
This is
I'll
hilarious.
come.
Shut
I
the
mean,
fuck
it
up.
sounds
Yeah,
We
go
sounds
spent.
back to
amazing.
Kenya
Oh my
and
god!
fucking
man.
I've
fight with a
lost
tiger or
billions
I
of
something.
mean, we
dollars.
said eat the
I
rich,
wish you would
and
at least
like
answer
it got
questions,
the
but it makes
Russian
sense.
oligarchs. That's amazing.
Damn.